I want to talk about the shadow behind the cloud. When I was on my way to town yesterday, I thought, oh wow, that shadow is so prominent behind that cloud. And then I thought, no, wait a minute. This literally is reflecting its shadow on the wall of the sky, because I thought it's like a shadow casting its shadow on a wall, because this is a solid thing. So it reminded me, when the light is shining on something, like this candle, for instance, I shined the flashlight on the camera, and its shadow was projected on the solid wall behind it. Now, if that wall wasn't there, and it was nothing but open space, I'm sure that I could not see the shadow, because there would be nothing for the shadow to be captured upon. No backdrop for the candle shadow to be seen on. Which brings me back to the clouds. It's like the sky is a backdrop. It's like there is, I'm trying to figure this out. The light must be shining on the cloud from behind the cloud, and then somehow the light is projecting its shadow onto the sky from inside the cloud, and we can see it projecting on the sky. But how could it be if the blue of the sky was nothing but open, vast area? This has left me a tad bit puzzled. It really has, you all. How is this possible for this cloud, the shadow mainly, to be projected in the manner that it is? How on earth is this physically possible? That's what I'm wondering. How can it be, unless, like, say there was a screen that looked like a sky where the shadow is cast upon, like a green screen or something, and it's all green and it can move and things. I don't know. Or I can see perhaps maybe it would cast itself upon the cloud, the shadow would. But for the sky itself, how on earth could that show up unless there was not any open space whatsoever between the shadow of this cloud and the backdrop? And I'm going to say again, just like this candle, if that wall was not there and there was nothing but empty space for a long ways away, and I could maybe see trees, that shadow wouldn't show up. It wouldn't. But because that wall is right there by that candle and the light is shining on it, that shadow is being stopped. It stops right there where that wall is at. If the wall wasn't there, it wouldn't have a shadow. So could we say that if there wasn't a wall in the sky, some type of wall, some type of barrier, that this cloud, it would not have its shadow resting upon it if there was not some type of a solid backdrop? Because let's just face it, now if I would held my hand out in front of me, if I did, up toward the sky, and I shined the flashlight on my hand, or in front of my hand, that shadow's not going to even be seen because the sky is so far away. But in this case, the sky itself, the backdrop, the blue and everything does not appear to be far away at all. It's like right there. Just like this, just like this, just like this. It's the backdrop of the sky is literally right there. It's like a solid wall is what it appears to me as. And perhaps maybe it's a great big green screen. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. The shadow has came to a complete halt. The shadow exists. I hope that now there's another theory. What if somehow the shadow has been brought to life and has taken on a dark form? What if it's there and now it's becoming more predominant? Of course, the shadow is there, and if it's not against a solid backdrop that's literally right up against it like the candle was, then how on earth can that shadow have like a 3D form? How can it? Now truly, this was wild. It was really wild, and like the video from Trey 57 production, when the beam of light was shining up at an angle on his video, remember that? I shared it, and people went to his page, and it was projecting something just like these. These are projecting this cloud, but it's up against a backdrop. Unless something much stranger is taking place, you all. Whatever it is very interesting. Very, very interesting, because it makes me feel as if there's a great big green screen in the sky, and that vast space that's supposed to be in the sky, it's not there at that moment in this area. It's not. And if it's there, if the vast space is there and the shadow also existing, then something major has developed here concerning the shadow, you all.